This is Oklahoma's own News on 6 in high definition.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Tess Maune. We begin with breaking news. A shooting spree in East Tulsa at the Family Gathering Center sends dozens running from the Green Country Event Center. That's on 31st Street, just east of Highway 169. News on 6 reporter Tony Russell is live at the scene.
Tess, I just want to bring you up to date. Police have one person in custody right now, and they believe that's the only people of interest that they'll have right now in regards to this shooting. 5 people were taken to area hospitals. Of the 5 that were injured from gunshots, 2 of them were hit in the stomach area. Their condition is unknown right now, but I can show you behind me here that police are still trying to process this scene. Again, this is the Green Country Event Center, and this all happened around 8 o'clock tonight during a meeting, a large family gathering of the Shung family. And I'm told by witnesses inside that gathering that they were giving their toast, and after the toast the shots rang out, and that's when those 5 people were hit. We spoke with one person who was actually inside the dinner, and he felt the bullet go through his shirt.
The bullet is going through my shirt, but the bullet is on my back.
To think that you walked away tonight, how do you must be very happy about that?
Yeah, that'll be good, no problem.
If you're bold enough to come into a room with 400 people and do this kind of act, you're an extremely dangerous person. We definitely want you off the streets.
Police were able to pick up a handgun, a .40 caliber handgun from the scene. They say the suspect ran away. The Tulsa police helicopter was in the area. They helped locate him. Again, there was another meeting inside the event center, Alcoholics Anonymous. They said they had no idea a shooting was going on inside. Tony Russell, News on 6 tonight.
New tonight, a man is in the hospital after being shot possibly multiple times. A Tulsa homeowner says when he got back to his home at 49th and Columbia, it was a mess and several things were missing. The homeowner tells police he saw a man in his backyard, took out a gun and shot him up to 6 times. The victim was taken to the hospital. No word on his condition. Investigators are still on the scene. We're learning new details about a deadly Tulsa shootout. Police say 21-year-old Mariko McGuire and another person were killed at a private club near 11th and Hudson just after 3 this morning. News on 6 reporter Grant Sloan has the developing story.
Police say it was chaos. 50 people inside the club scattered after shots rang out. 3 people were hit and a 4th was struck by a car. Police believe a fight in the parking lot led to a shootout with bullets flying across 11th Street. Assisting in a homicide investigation isn't how Mustafa Shamelzai planned on starting his weekend.
Pretty much later on I have to take that glass out to take the bullet and send it to police.
2 of the cars at his dealership have bullet holes in them. He was delayed opening his business because 8 hours after the shooting, officers still had a stretch of 11th Street blocked off.
After these people took over, we saw the music is getting loud and the people are driving wild out of here and in here.
Shamelzai says events like this are the reason he chooses to open carry.
This area is pretty much, you have to have something with you to protect yourself and your business.
Police say bullets were flying in all directions, from both the club parking lot and the parking lot across the street. 3 men were rushed to the hospital. Officers put up crime scene tape to question witnesses and speak with family members. Police say 21-year-old Mariko McGuire later died from his injuries. 2 other men, whose names haven't been released, are in critical condition. Police say in the panic last night, a 4th victim, a young woman, managed to take cover inside the bar but was hit by a car while trying to cross 11th Street. Now it's unknown if the shooter was inside the car, but what is known is that the driver didn't stop.
I've never seen something like this before.
Nelson Albrado and his employees also spent the morning looking at bullet holes.
For at least 4 years I've been here, and then like I told, this right here is the first time I've seen it. Really can't do anything about it.
Police say the club is used for after parties that start around 2 a.m. and that the owners say it had been rented out for a birthday.
They just move in anybody that they want to because they're getting paid for it, so what can we expect? It's all about money.
Police say the woman who was hit by the car has a broken leg and is assisting in the investigation. Police say they are still searching for suspects. If you know anything, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. Grant Sloan, News on 6 tonight.
A Green Country wife turns in her husband after police say she found evidence he was molesting a child. Bixby police say Matthew Bartlett's wife made the report Friday after finding pictures and videos of the 38-year-old with a child on his computer. Police searched the hard drive and say they identified Bartlett in the photos due to a sore on his thumb. He was booked for several crimes, including molestation of a minor. Oklahoma's own were left stranded at the grocery store when the system behind the food stamps card program crashed. People across 17 states lost access to their EBT cards this morning. Several Oklahomans were forced to leave their groceries at the store after their cards were rejected.
That's my money. That's how, that's how I pay my bills. That's how I feed my kids. That's how, a lot of people depend on those cards.
Xerox, the company that handles the card system, says it lost power at its data center. We're told all the cards should be working now. The food stamp crash has nothing to do with the government shutdown, but lawmakers are negotiating ways to raise the nation's borrowing limit to fund the government. Both houses of Congress worked today, but no deal was reached to end the budget standoff. The best chance for a breakthrough appears to be in the Senate.
The conversations were extremely cordial, but very preliminary, of course. Nothing conclusive. This should be seen as something very positive.
House Speaker John Boehner says the talks with President Obama have stalled. House Republicans have a plan to reopen the government and raise the nation's borrowing limit for 6 weeks, but they want concessions from the Obama administration first. The president says he will make no such deal. The White House says if a deal isn't reached before next Thursday, the government will have no money to pay its bills. One of Oklahoma's own is leaving the home front to go back to the land where he spent some of his darkest days. Veteran Philip Kuhn is touching down in Japan tonight. Kuhn survived the infamous Bataan Death March in World War II. He was a prisoner of war for more than 3 years, and his legacy continues to live on through his children and grandchildren.
Even the colonels and the generals would be talking about my father and stuff, and I said, well, is this how I landed here? And he goes, no, we were just lucky to get you out of the draw.
The full-blooded Muskogee Creek Indian will be overseas for more than a week. The Sooners and Longhorns square off in the Big D. We'll have a report from Texas. Plus, it was
Ferrari has the American Meteorological Society seal of approval.
Some of you may have heard some thunder during the late night hours. Travis tells me there wasn't anything severe out there, but there were a few locally heavy downpours. Notice, for example, Veneta, about 1.5 inches of rain. These are from the Mesonet rainfall reports, about 1 inch in the Nowata area. Most folks, though, much less than that. I didn't even have 1/10 of an inch at my house, for example, but a few folks had 1/4 of an inch or more in a few lucky locations. And we'll be dealing with another pretty good chance of some showers and storms starting about this time tomorrow night, and especially on into the day Monday and into the day Tuesday. Right now, as we look at Viper 3D, as you can see, everything is way down into Texas and into Louisiana. They pick up some very heavy rainfall down that way. They have a few isolated showers along the Red River Valley and into McCurtain, Pittsmataha counties, also 1 or 2 in LaFleur County during the course of the afternoon and evening hours, but those are pretty well died out. As we take a look at the bigger picture, again, most of the active weather is way down to the south of us, but notice there's some shower activity developing there in the central and northern Rockies. That's the next system that's coming our way. Here's what it looks like on the radar satellite composite, and this is promised to be a much stronger system. Notice also its potential for tapping into some tropical moisture out of the Pacific. Some of that moisture is kind of streaming up across Mexico and across Texas, and that could end up producing some pretty heavy rainfall for us, as you'll see in just a moment. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that potential. Daytime highs today, generally in the 70s, but notice the contrast. Durant, 91 degrees. Meanwhile, the Panhandle was only in the 60s, and my old stomping grounds there, northwestern Oklahoma, only in the low 70s, so quite a little contrast across the state. We have northeasterly winds across the state right now as that frontal line is pretty well cleared the state, but it's kind of hung up down along the northern part of Texas, and temperatures are generally in the 60s, some 50s, especially in the more northern counties. Bartlesville You folks are already down to 51 degrees, for example. Now, the showers, this is what it looked like in Grove from earlier today. There were still a few lingering showers at that time. Everything cleared on out as the day wore on, and the result was a good bit of afternoon sunshine for most of us, exception you folks way down to the south and southeast, where the clouds were much slower to clear. Right now, we're still enjoying generally fair skies out there. Here's a view looking into downtown Tulsa from 300 feet above our studio, 65 degrees, but notice the air is relatively dry with a dew point of 51. And with a northeasterly wind at 9, that means a relatively cool start to our day first thing tomorrow morning. In fact, record book for today, a little bit warmer than normal to start the day, pretty close to normal to end it. And notice she did have some rainfall, but we're still way behind as far as our yearly total is concerned. And right now, a mixture of 50s and 60s for most of us. Poteau, the warm spot, is 71. Bartlesville, a cool spot at 51. We're kind of in between at 65, with those northeasterly winds blowing around 5 to 10 miles an hour. In future view, tries to break out a shower or two. I think this is probably overstating the case, but we'll keep a slight chance for the overnight hours. 40s to low 50s to start your day. Then a more easterly wind as we go through the day tomorrow. Daytime highs should be in the 70s. And then next system will be moving in Monday into Tuesday. That's when we'll start seeing these rainfall totals, which could be in the order of several inches by the time it's all said and done. So 55 degrees first thing in the morning, 70 by the noon hour with an afternoon high of about 76. And then those will be a bit cooler then for Monday and Tuesday with cloudy skies and rain likely. Now the rain should come to an end later Tuesday. Could be a few isolated showers redevelop on Wednesday, and as you can see, it looks like pretty nice weather for Thursday and Friday, but in the meantime, some fairly wet weather between now and then.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Dick. The Oklahoma Ford Sports Blitz is on the way. Here's Dean Blevins with a preview.
Were the Sooners overconfident? We'll tell you coming up in sports.
This is the Oklahoma Ford Sports Blitz.
The talk all week was not would OU beat Texas, but would OU beat Texas so badly that Mac Brown got fired. But the Reeling Longhorns played their best game of the season today and shocked the Sooners down at the Cotton Bowl. Bevo's crew shot the cannon right through Blake Bell's jersey, and that would be a metaphor of the day. A struggle for the Sooner offense. Bell's pass picked off by Chris Whaley, and he's taking it 31 yards back to the house, 300 pounds of fun and a touchdown. It's 10-3 Texas. Second quarter now. Case McCoy finds Marcus Johnson, a 59-yard strike, and it's 17-3. Another field goal made it 20-3 before OU could find the end zone. Damian Williams with a 3-yard touchdown here. It was 23-10 at the half, and in the third quarter, the route was on. McCoy finds Mike Davis. Watch your knees, but he's in for a 38-yard touchdown. Texas beats the Sooners 36-20. Dean Blevins has more from Dallas.
In the end, Texas came through on money downs, on third downs. They converted 9 of their first 10 third down opportunities. The Sooners started 1 of 8. On an important 3rd and 8 in the third quarter, Bell panics, floats, throws his second interception. Another third saw Texas pin its ears back, come after Bell, intentional grounding. Long day for Bell and the Sooners. And how disappointed are you right now?
Yeah, it's definitely not what you want to do. You know, obviously a rivalry game against Texas, but now it's on to the next one, and it's going to be hard to forget this one. But we got to come back Monday and ready to work, and you know we're still in it. We need to keep. We just need to win this next one and take the next game one game at a time.
You give up a touchdown on offense. You give up a touchdown on a punt return. Can't convert on third down, can't stop them on third down. It's one of those things where it was just all these things adding up into something that was just really, really poor on our part.
So one of the most surprising losses in the Bob Stoops era becomes one of the biggest wins in the Mac Brown era. What it does for his future, I don't know, but it was a heck of a win for him and one that sends Stoops and the Sooners back to the drawing board. Reporting from Dallas, I'm Dean Blevins.
A chance to bounce back for the Golden Hurricane tonight after an overtime heartbreaker last week. TU was on the road at UTEP. Despite being 1-4, the Hurricane came in favored by 10. Coach Blankenship's team needed a fast start and got one. Opening drive, Cody Green pitches it out to Jatarian Douglas. He's in for 6. Tulsa's up 7-0. Later it's 7-3. Green rolls out under pressure and he just fires one deep to Kevin Lucas. Great play from the receiver here. A 24-yard touchdown. It's 14-3 Golden Hurricanes. First play of the second quarter. Green buying time in the pocket, avoiding the rush, and Another prayer. Thomas Robertson hauls it in and fights off the defender. A 35-yard touchdown catch put Tulsa up 21-3, 21-14 in the third. The Cardinals channel their inner Fozzie Bear. How Michael Waka led them to a 2-0 lead in the NLCS when we come back. Game 2 between the Cardinals and the Dodgers in the NLCS. Top of the first, Michael Waka strikes out Yasiel Puig to end the inning. That would be a theme. Now to the 5th, John Jay flares one out to left, but it gets the job done. David Freese comes home on the sac fly, and it's 1-0 Cardinals. With Waka, that's all you need. Bases loaded in the 6th, no worries. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. 6 2/3 shutout innings for Waka. The Cardinals hang on for a 1-0 win. And finally tonight, some of the fastest door slam racers in the nation were on display at the Tulsa Raceway for the Throwdown in T-Town. Organizers estimated 30,000 fans came out this weekend. The two-day event featured cars that reached speeds over 210 miles per hour on the 1/8 of a mile drag strip. That's in less than 4 seconds. And by the way, we'd be remiss not to mention the mighty Missouri Tigers 6-0 after a big upset win over Georgia. There you go.
How about that?
How about that?
It was a strange day for the Sooners, though, wasn't it? Thank you guys for joining us here.